Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Laratips. So in today's video, we'll be talking about eloquent mutators. The eloquent mutator contains accessor, mutators, and attribute casting, all these things, and we'll be talking about all these things in today's video. So if you haven't watched my previous video regarding model, then please watch that. So you'll need that in today's video. So basically, the accessor and mutator allows us to format the eloquent attribute values when we retrieve or set them on a model instance. Yeah. So whenever we are trying to access any value from a model instance, then we can use accessor to modify that value. And whenever we are trying to set any value in the eloquent instance and trying to save it in the database, then we can change that value automatically using the mutator. So let's see that in action. So I have already created a model product and a migration file. So if you don't know how to create this, then please see my previous tutorial. I have already taught it there. Okay. Basically, the product tables contains here the title, slog, price, and is active fields. And the title and strings are title and slog are string. The price is the unsigned integer, which should always be greater than 0. So it is unsigned. The boolean means tiny integer, which is active. So it can only be 0 and 1. So I have created it as a boolean. So now what we want is, whatever be the title of the product, we always want to see the first letter of every word as a capital letter. So for that, let us save one data in a database. Let us go to home controller. So how to save, we have seen this in our previous tutorial. Okay, now let's save one product in our table. So I have added this data. Title is the Samsung Galaxy S20, so all are small letters, and the slog is just str slog of this title. So this is the helper str helper class, which is provided us by the Laravel, and it is imported here. Eliminate support str, and what it does is it basically converts this string into a slog, which is all the small letters and separating each replacing each space with dash. And we have entered a price and is active as a true. And now let us save this. Okay. So if I go to the home page and refresh the page, so it should run this, execute this method, and a data should be here in our database. So you can see here Samsung Galaxy S20, and all those data are being saved here. Now we want to access this data. Let's see. We know that how to access this data. Yeah. So it has ID of 1. So let us return the product, find the product with the ID of 1, and let us return this. And if I go to the home page and refresh the page, you can see here it is giving us the same title, but we don't want this title. We want to show every first letter of the word as the capital letter. So what we can do is, we can do like this: product equals to this. Yeah. Then product title is equals to str title product title, and then return product. Yeah. So this str title, this is also helper method in this str class, so which converts every first letter of a word into capital letter. So now we have returned it here. Now let's see what is the result. Now you can see here every first letter of this word is now capital letter. Yeah. So we have done it like this. So, and everywhere we want this feature, then we need to find a product, and again product arrow title, and give it a title like this. Yeah. And return a product like this. So this is a little bit cumbersome. So now we want this thing to happen automatically. So whenever we access product title, it should automatically convert this title into the uppercase words. Okay. So how can we do this? We can do this by using accessor. Now let me just remove this. Okay. And let me go to the models, app, models, and product. Yeah. Here now you can see here in the documentation, you can see here define an accessor. Here you can see we can define an accessor like this. Yeah. So let me copy this and I'll explain you this. So let me paste it here. So every accessor will start with get. Okay. And it will end with attribute. Okay, every accessor will start with a get and it will end with attribute, and in the middle we need to give the name of the database table column. Yeah, for now what we want to do is we want to convert this title into the uppercase words. Yeah, so now we have to give a title here. Okay, get title attribute, and if we want this for the slug, then we can give here get slug attribute. Yeah, and there is, let's say if there is a is underscore active column, then what we can do is we can do it is like this. In the camel case, is active, we can define it is in a camel case, and it will automatically take this is underscore active. Okay, this is by convention, so we need to follow this convention. So for now, let us write title and this value. Okay, this value is this value we'll get here. Okay, now what we can do is str title. Let us import this title, it is imported here, and if I pass value here, now whenever we access title from the product model, then it will automatically convert this into the title case. Okay, now let me show you here. Okay, we have found a product and now returned here. Now it should automatically convert it into the title case. Now let me go here now and refresh the page here. Now you can see here it is automatically converted it into the title case. So just to confirm, let me comment this and save it here, and if I refresh here, now you can see here it is again small letter, and if I uncomment it, save it and refresh the page, then you can see here it is automatically converted into the title case. So this is the accessor. So now let me show you the mutator. So mutator is used to modify the data whenever we assign a value to the model instance. Okay, now let's say we want to save something to the database. Now let's do this for the price. Basically we always store price in the cents, yeah, because of some floating point issues. So here is a good article about this. I'll link this in the description below the like button, so you can read about this. It is just a small article, so you can easily read and understand about this. Okay, so we should always store data, the price, as a integer value, and in a cent. We should never store it as a floating point value. Okay, whenever a price is 1000, then we want to add it 2 more zeros to it. Okay, so how can we do it? So I'll show you how we would do without mutator first, and then we'll again use mutator. Okay, let me undo the changes that I have done. Yeah, now let us give another product name. Let's say iPhone X. Okay, now its price is, let's say, $1,200. Yeah, and whenever we want to save it as a cent, then what we can do is multiply it by 100, so it will be converted into cent. Okay, and if I go to the home page and refresh the page here, yeah, and go to our database table and refresh here, now you can see here, we can see here iPhone X, and the price is multiplied by 100 and it is stored in the database. So wherever you want to store in different parts of our project, then everywhere you have to remember that you need to multiply it by 100. So we don't want that. We want this to happen automatically. Yeah, so now what we can do is we can define a mutator for this. Similar to that of the accessor, we have mutator. So let's go to the documentation, and we can see here mutator. Okay, so if I go here, and the convention is similar. So before we had the get title attribute. Now what we can do is get price attribute, set price attribute. Okay, the set will be in the beginning, attribute will be in the end, and this will be the name of the table column name. Yeah, and this value, okay, this value will be this value. So we don't want this thing, we only want to save it like this, just price. So this will be this 1200 only. Yeah, this price will be received here. Now what we can do is here, this attribute price value into 100. Yeah, so if we do this, and now if we save, let's say 900, and let's say 1 plus, I don't know what's the latest 1 plus 1, so I'll only write 1 plus here. So whenever we save here, okay, whenever the price, we save the price, so 900 should be converted into, so it should be multiplied by 100, and it will be automatically converted into the 90,000. So we haven't done anything here, so now we don't need to remember, we need to multiply the price field by 100 always, so we don't need to remember that. Now if I go to the home page and refresh the page, now that should be 90,000 here. Now you can see here it is 90,000 here. So this is how you use mutators. Now let us look at the another feature, which is attribute casting. Yeah, so let me again show you one thing here. Let us find the product with the ID 1. Yeah, now you can see here this is active is 1. We have defined it in the migration as a boolean value, but in MySQL database there is no boolean value, so we have to store it either as 1 or 0. So we have to store it in a tiny integer. And if we go to the browser and in the home page, if we refresh here, now you can see here is active is 1, but we don't want this to be 1. Yeah, so for this also what we can do is we can define accessor. So let's do that, and I'll show you another way of doing that as well. If we go here and just do it like this, and get is active attribute and return value is equal to 1. Yeah, if we do it like this, then whenever the value is 1 it will return true, and whenever the value is 0 it will return false. Now if I go to the browser and look at here, it is currently 1, and if I refresh the page, now you can see here it is automatically converted into a boolean value. Okay, so instead of doing this, what we can do is there is a cast property, protected property in Laravel model. So cast, and what we can do is active to boolean. Yeah, so this is basically saying cast is active to boolean. Okay, now again if I come here and refresh the page, now you can see here it is again converted into true. And just to confirm, I'll comment this and refresh the page, and now you can see here it is now an integer value, and let us keep it like this and see here. So you can see it here as well. Yeah, it is showing here. There are a lot of casting feature in Laravel, so we can use it like in place of boolean. So for the different kind of values we can use different kind of casting. Yeah, we can cast the value to either integer, float, real, double, this string, boolean, object, or array. Yeah, or into the datetime format, or as well as the Laravel collection. You can try some of these and just play around with it and see what are the results whenever you use some of this casting type. Okay, currently we have only a products table with the price field. Now let's say we also have other tables that also have price field in it, and again in that model we don't want to repeat this code. Yeah, because we have to follow the DRY, do not repeat yourself principle. So we don't want to repeat our code everywhere. So whenever we want to change in one thing, then we have to again go to the every places and again change in the every models. So we don't want that. So for that, Laravel also has one feature called custom cast. Yeah, we can create custom cast and use that in the model, in every model wherever we want. So for that, let us create money cast. If I go to here, so for this we don't have any artisan command, so we have to create it by ourselves. So inside the app, let me create the casts folder and moneycast.php. Yeah, and let us copy this, everything from here, and let us paste it here. I'll explain you this. So okay, it is inside the app cast namespace, so it's this one is correct, so this one is also correct, and this cast attribute. So let us rename this as money cast because this is our class name, and it should always implement this cast attribute. So if you go inside this and look, so it is basically an interface which has two methods, get and set. So this money cast has two methods, get and set. So this get method will act as accessor, and this set method will act as mutator. So if let me just remove this. Okay, now let me go here in the set price. Okay, so for that let me keep it as well. So let me go here, yeah, and just what we need to do is return value into 100 value. Yeah, this value is this value, so this value will come from that whenever we try to save any integer value to the price field. Okay, so now this is the integer, and this model is the model instance. So let's say the product model instance that we are going to save, so it will be received here. The key is, so we are trying to save in the price field, so it will be this key will be price, and value will be the whatever value that we are saving. So let's say we are saving $900, then it will be 900 here, and attributes will be the array form of model attributes. We have this title, slug, and whatever we are trying to save in the database, so all this will be passed here as an array. So while saving the price, we want to multiply it by 100 to make it set, but when receiving the value while displaying it or while using it, we want it to be in dollar. Yeah, so what we can do is value divide by 100. Now whenever we access price, so it will always be in dollar. So currently what is happening here is in the home controller we are returning the product, and if we go here and you can see here, so it's 1000, so it's 1000 here. Yeah, so for the 1 plus the ID is 3, and you refresh here, so it's showing us 90,000, but the price is only $900. Yeah, so it should only show 900 here. Okay, for that, so this will convert that into $900. Okay, now how to use this cast here, money cast? So basically we'll go to the product model, and inside the cast we'll give the key price, and we'll give here money cast class. So this money cast I have already imported it here, then now we don't need this accessor over here. Now this casting money cast will perform both accessor and mutator. Now if we go here in the home controller, now we are again returning the product. Yeah, now the value, this 90,000 must be changed to 900. Yeah, now you can see here the cast is being applied, and just to confirm I'll just comment this out and refresh the page, and again it is converted into 90,000. So now in any other model, if we want this money cast, then we can simply define a protected cast property, and inside that we can give it like this. So we are not repeating our this dividing and multiplying logic in every model. So this is a very simple example. So as I said in the beginning of the video, we can do this to encrypt certain data while saving it to the database, and while getting it we can automatically decrypt it and get it. Yeah, we don't have to just use it in the every places, just define it in the cast, and it will automatically be converted. So similarly you can do this for the title attribute as well. So you can make one title cast.php, and you can define the get and set accordingly. In the last I'll be just showing you this array and JSON casting. Okay, suppose you have a JSON field in your database table column, and whenever accessing the value you always want it to be array. So what you can do is you can cast that column, JSON column as an array, and whenever you try to access, let's say there is an option like this, options column, which is a JSON, and whenever you say, let's say product arrow options, then that JSON value will automatically converted into the array, and this array is present in the default Laravel code base. Okay, so we can just use it, we don't need to define anything. So that's it for this today, guys. So in the next video, we'll be talking about eloquent scopes. How can we extract some logic into the scope and use it and make our controller clean? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.